So like in the general discussion among students, no, they think marathon itself is enough. No need to go for regular. They'll be thinking like that generally, because in marathon itself they'll get so much clarity. I absolutely agree. You will get clarity in my marathon beyond many other regular classes that are there, but you will not get command. Command you will get only in the regular class. If at all my marathon and regular is same, how come I'll get business? Yes or no? But definitely I'm telling you, I will give way better clarity. Superb. You will get a clarity on audit like never before. By the time you attend this 24 hours of recording, this session, you will get a clarity enormously on audit like never before, for sure. But the command is different. By the way, I am not here soliciting my regular class. Because at this moment where you're having exam in the November, obviously I don't recommend you to go for it unless you do not get confidence, unless you are not getting confidence. Getting it? That's it. So like I'm just clarifying people perception. Like his marathon, if you watch and study, that's enough. Either do complete self-study, after finishing entirely the self-study, come and watch the marathon, that will be useful. Or if you think we'll watch marathon and study only those points, no, it will not work. The main reason behind fast track classes and marathons why I will not sell, because if I start selling that, only that content which I cover, student will revise. He will not revise the remaining ignored content. That too, this content, whatever extent I explain, only that much he will study. He will not analyze the context fully with examples, with all cases and all, how questions can be asked in institute, all that. So that is the reason which will backfire me more. Since it's a free product, marathon or revision, so they can't blame me. Yes or no? So that's the reason in marathon, I try my level best to give clarity so that at least you can do on your own later on. If at all a student thinks that it is not possible or you don't have like why to take risk, then I will advise them. That's how it is like. So I'm just clarifying, marathon can never be equal with regular. I think you can tell, right? 100%, right? You found the difference? Yes. Like people feel like especially those who attended my regular class, they feel like, whatever is told to us, everything is told in this class also. No, I have told you so much of interpretation part. I have so many examples, so many question and answer, because I need to satisfy them also, right? Hey, like for you, there is a different product, here it's a different product. I need to explain them. Getting it? So it's completely different, altogether different. But at this moment, you need not even think about this. You can happily, comfortably go ahead. But those of you who are watching in the YouTube, they'll put comments. No difference between regular and marathon. All my friends told. For regular student, it appears everything we are covering. And it's neatly going. But for first timers, they understand it is bit fast. Getting the point? Obviously, it's a marathon class. It's a fast track class. Fast track by definition is fast. Yes or no? So obviously it's a fast track class. This much syllabus, 24 hours time we have. How to cover? Understood, right? We have totally 46 standards. 46 standards. CARO reporting, 143 subsection 3 reporting, 143 1 reporting, professional ethics, risk assessment, separate chapter is there, strategy, separate chapter is there, and internal audit and forensic. This is what I told that I will cover in this. How do you think I can cover if I don't go at this level? And by this time, you must all have, like, see, what is a marathon? You must sit and acknowledge what I'm speaking. That is what you are coming here for. Not for knowing what is there in the subject. Agreed? This process you must have completed earlier. And I know definitely many students are discovering so many new concepts that were there in the syllabus, which they didn't study. This means your original preparation process is inadequate. When it is inadequate, you are not eligible to attempt November. But that's okay. At least consider this. Take this as a basis and identify how many different ways of questions can come, how much syllabus is there. At least these 2 months, if you rectify, revise your preparation plan accordingly, you will do well. If you are still in the same old mindset, not covering entire these points, one question mark, I'll study and go right, it will not happen. May 24 attempt, group 1, most of the students failed only because of audit. Only because of audit they failed, not otherwise. They got exemption in SFM, they got exemption in FR, they failed in audit with 30, 28, 22. You're getting it? These are the marks. They wrote correct answers, but not for the question which is asked. Because that's how I showed, right? Just now going concern itself, I explained you how the question was actually and what students wrote. Every question I'll tell you what is exactly as what they wrote and what they are supposed to write, what they're writing. I will explain all those slowly. So now we'll begin key audit matter. What is a key audit matter? Only 20 to 25% of the students who are reading key audit matter will understand truly the context of key audit matter. Many don't understand the context of key audit matter, but they read. They think like mugging up the subject will help. It will help if at all I have only 10 standards. I have 46 standards. I have bank audit, NBFC audit. We have internal audit, investigation, forensic, due diligence, ethics, and SDG, digital audit. So many were there. Mugging up will not work unless, see, mugging up requires 20 times reading, more than 10 times reading minimum. Then only the extreme hardcore process. Suppose if you study conceptually, understanding the context, why these points are there under this particular side heading, what is the relevance between these two, and what is its relevance in the overall standard, and revising the standard as a whole with a bird eye view and in-depth revision. If you do like this, you just have to require 3 to 4 revisions. 3 to 4 revisions. And remember, each revision will not take same time. First time revision alone takes say 50 to 60 hours or 70 hours. Second revision takes 15 hours. Third revision takes only 10 hours. So number of, when I say 3 revisions means 3 into 60 hours. No. Learning curve is there, na? Learning curve. As you do the same process again and again, your speed increases. Yes or no? That's learning curve, will be there. So 3 revisions to 4 revisions will be sufficiently enough, more than enough. Getting it for audit. Those who don't understand the subject, they always forget. No matter how much they study, they always forget. For example, in 620, I'll show you what kind of confusion you will get. Key audit matter. What is a key audit matter? For example, Air India, I will show you. Air India, I will show you. Some India is 116, they have adopted for the first time. The company has adopted Ind AS 116 for the first time. The company has applied Ind AS 116, standard to its leases of aircrafts and land disclosed under PPE retrospectively with a cumulative effect initially by applying the standard so and so. Accordingly, the company has not restated comparative information. Instead, comparative information is not. See, whenever, comparative information must also be prepared in the same line with the current year financial information. If at all current year financial information, any of the principles were changed, automatically comparative figures also shall be restated. Correct? So that only a proper comparison can be made. If you apply India's current year figures, previous year figures on some other standard where the principles of recognition, measurement are different, how can people can compare and take an adequate decision, proper decision? So restatement they have not done. And you know what? The cumulative effect, they're all probably disclosed everything honestly in the financial statements. Everything is fine. So auditor selected this as a key audit matter. Why? What is a key audit matter? Look at the definition. Look at the breakup of the key audit matter. Important audit matter. In the audit, auditor felt some matter which is important. Definition says the key audit matters are those in the professional judgment of the auditor were of significant in the context of audit of current period. In the context of audit for current period, these matters are selected from those matters communicated with those charged with the governance. That's very common sense. Important points only I will discuss with those charged with governance. For example, SA 260 says significant matters to be communicated to those charged with governance. Significant findings in the audit shall be communicated to those charged with governance. Significant difficulties arise in audit shall be communicated to those charged with governance. SA 260 itself says what are all matters you have to communicate to those charged. Look at those matters and select key audit matters. Enough. You need not even apply judgment. Whatever SA 260 says, you would have followed it in audit. So select those matters. Enough. Now, okay, you're selecting. What are you telling here? You are just telling company what they did. Some Ind AS they adopted. Because of this last year figures, they didn't restate. That issue and all you explain. Okay, what is happened, you explain. What you did. Okay, this is the issue. What you did. What auditors have done. We have obtained an understanding of process relating to so and so asset. We have reviewed the methodology followed by the management while applying Ind AS. We have reviewed the inputs used for determining some borrowing rates and all. So we have performed computation checks and all. We have reviewed the disclosures that are made in the financial statements also. Refer so and so 3 in our qualified opinion section, and emphasis also if at all you want to, because on this matter auditor would have qualified. Because comparatives are not restated, that's against financial reporting framework. So auditor would have given a modified opinion. So already gave a modified opinion. And again highlighting this as a key audit matter. Can he do so? Yes. As a complementary you can do. As a substitute you cannot do. Key audit matter is not a substitute for modified opinion. Suppose comparatives were not restated properly, which resulted in material misstatement as per the framework, right? Comparatives are materially misstated, right? Suppose you cleverly thought, let me not qualify, let me directly discuss it under key audit matter. Let me directly discuss it under key audit. That is not permitted. Suppose you qualified already. Here you see, refer para 3 of basis for opinion para. What is there in the basis for qualified opinion para, paragraph 3? Non-recognition of right to use and corresponding lease liabilities as required by Ind AS. That is one of the reason why auditor have given qualified opinion. But still the same is selected as key audit matter. Yes, it is possible because they selected, because they complemented it. They didn't put it as a substitute. They ignored there and commenting it. That is not done. Yes or no? So key audit matter is not a substitute for modified opinion. Understood the meaning? If at all something which is done mistakenly, you must qualify. You must give a modified. You did that? Okay, you want to also talk about in key audit matter? Talk about it, no problem. I will not object. But without qualifying, which is a material misstatement, you are commenting under key audit matter? No, that's not correct. Sometimes, let us assume company did everything correctly. Let us assume company restated everything correctly. Still auditor selected it as a key audit matter. Why key? What is key? I felt it is important, that's it. What is important in my audit? In my entire audit, there are some issues which I felt important. Okay, describe them. What are the issues? Don't tell all the important issues. Select some few issues and tell them how you addressed. What are the audit procedures you performed? How you performed the audit. Key audit matter section just simply tells what important issues you faced in audit, how you performed the audit. That's it. Whereas emphasis of matter paragraph, notes to account, some note point is there, read that. Other matter paragraph, branches, I am not responsible. So emphasis of matter paragraph and other matter paragraph talks about responsibilities of auditor, important points in the financial statements that we are highlighting or we are talking about responsibilities. Then what key audit matter talks about? Key audit matter talks about audit process. How we are doing audit. How we are doing audit? Generally in audit responsibility section we told, we do audit as per standards on auditing. Our responsibilities are risk assessment, going concern, appropriate accounting policies, all this. That is how you are doing audit conceptually. I want a real example. Look at key audit matter. I will tell shareholders, look at key audit matter if you want a real example of how I verify. For example, there is an issue called Ind AS 116. If you can understand, read, and what I did also read and go enjoy. Key audit matter is this exactly. Key audit matter is not anything else. In key audit matter, we just describe what is the matter that we felt important and how we resolved it. How we addressed it in the context of our audit. That's why you see introduction language, how it will be. Key audit matters are those in our professional judgment were of most significant in our audit of financials of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of audit as a whole and informing opinion thereon. All these matters we addressed in audit. We verified all this. While forming our opinion on financials, we verified all this, addressed all this. Then why are you discussing here? I am just discussing if you want to know one example of how I do audit. You want to know how I do audit. I cannot sit and tell you for what 50 days I did. Some important issues I will pick. What I verified, I will give you. Based on that, you imagine how I do audit of others also. Just it will provide insights about the audit process. Understood? You see, that's what key audit matter. Purpose of key audit matter is what? The purpose of key audit matter provide additional information to assist them in understand areas of significant matter. People will understand what are all important matters the auditor focused on most in the audit. They will understand. Key audit matters they enhance the value of the audit report by providing greater transparency about the audit. So people are understanding. They means audit means what? They own, definitions, all that. How I exactly do the audit, they don't know. That's why I am picking some audit areas in the audits which I perform and explaining them how I verified them. Simple, right? Like this, you cannot communicate a material misstatement without modifying. Cleverly, see, tomorrow what auditor will say, no, there is a material misstatement. Instead of qualifying, auditor will communicate under key audit matter how we verified this misstatement without qualifying. Don't be clever like this. If there is a material misstatement, qualify. First to qualify in the opinion paragraph, you should say that it is wrong. Don't say how you verified this. I will accept this if you qualify. Suppose there is no material misstatement, that's okay, no problem. You have evidence, no, that's enough. Are you clear? So any matter, if at all I am covering under key audit matter, already if some reflection is there in the notes to accounts, I need not talk about it. Yes, or I need not once again cover it under emphasis of matter paragraph. Agreed or not? All of you, that's it. So look at the content. Now, so communicating key audit matter is not a substitute for disclosure in financials, not a substitute for modified opinion. Or are we providing any separate opinion on these matters? No, it is not a separate opinion, and even it is not a substitute for 570 reporting where material uncertainty related to going concern exists. Agreed or not? Easy. Now, when this standard is applicable, this standard is applicable for audit of all listed entities, compulsory. For sure, you must give. For other entities, if auditor decided to communicate, he can communicate. Where if there is a requirement in law, then also you communicate. Getting it? However, communicating key audit matter is prohibited if auditor is disclaiming the opinion. Disclaimer of opinion indicates what? You didn't audit. When you didn't audit, where is the question of important audit matter? Simple logic. Correct? Important audit matter means you have you audited. You audited, in that you select what is important. You didn't audit, you gave a disclaimer. Where is the question of important audit matter? That's why key audit matter is prohibited. Clear? Then how do I select key audit matter? Generally, you can select it from the significant matters communicated to management by default. If at all you are still doubtful, if at all you want guidance on how to select key audit matter, very simple. Select the area which is higher risk, significant risk. Select the area where significant judgments involved, significant accounting estimates involved, high estimation uncertainty is involved. Select the area where high estimation uncertainty. What is high estimation uncertainty? We will discuss in 540 revision. We will discuss that in 540 revision. And you may be selecting key audit matter that belongs to some significant event or transaction. That belongs to some significant event or transaction. For example, suppose for each of it, for areas of higher assessed risk. Let us assume there is a European company. Just a minute. This is Alphabet, United States audit report, US related. This is also a key audit matter, but just the name is different. What is it? Critical audit matter. What they selected? Key audit matter, loss of contingencies. Some contingencies related they matter. They described the matter, how auditors addressed the matter. Same reporting requirement, right? How in India we follow, the same is followed in the US, the same is followed in Europe, the same is followed in UK. In all the frameworks, the audit is same. Getting it? So here they have selected some loss of the company is regularly subject to claims, all that. So and so claims were there. Probably it might be some significant event. Getting the point? Claims and all are events, right, against the company. So this is the criteria. Reliance, in one of the year, they selected key audit matter of the following. Plant and machinery useful life, they revised it from 30 years to 50 years. 30 to 50. They revised it. Useful life is revised. The value of plant and machinery is some 4 lakh crore. That is selected by auditor as key audit matter. Key audit matters are those which caught significant attention of the auditor. Simple. Key audit matters are those which caught significant attention of the auditor. These matters are called as key audit matters. From where you can select these matters? Maybe in the area where high risk is assessed, significant risk is there. Maybe in the area where significant judgments are there, estimates are there with high estimation uncertainty. What is high estimation uncertainty? We'll discuss in 540. 540. Best example is decommissioning liability, you know. And in day 16, provision present value of decommissioning liability. Tell me, is it highly uncertain? Yes or no? It's purely an estimate which is highly uncertain. That can be selected as a key audit matter in the year in which it is capitalized. Getting it? Significant transaction event. Some merger happened, or some acquisition happened, or some major related party has been removed, or subsidiary company has been removed. That can be a key audit matter. Understood? That's it. Key audit matter discussion is over. And you know, there are some points which auditor cannot disclose it as a key audit matter. Some points, you know, you should not communicate. Some points you are eligible to use key audit matter section in audit report. When you are prohibited to use that section itself, disclaimer of opinion. You are permitted to use, but the following don't communicate. Matters which are prohibited by law, matters where communicating them brings adverse consequences, don't communicate. Matters which are highly confidential and sensitive, don't communicate. These are all there in the 700 itself. Within the 700, key audit matter cited is there itself is there. Separate discussion on key audit matter is there. Inside that they have not covered. Inside 700 itself they covered this. Are you clear? That's it. Now, you know, in 705, one more additional requirement is there. In 705, there is one requirement. For example, there is a clarification given by the institute. You will not find this like a side heading in the ICA book. You will find it as a paragraph continuation. So you need to figure out clearly. So there is a clarification. If you remember 805 standard. If I don't know how many of you studied 805, all of you? I hope you've gone through 805. By the way, there is an assumption from among the students, especially who are coming from old scheme, who are converted from old scheme to new scheme. They are thinking newly established, newly added standards. What are the newly added standard? 800 series, 2000 series, 3000 series, 4000 series, STG, digital audit. From all these weightages, how much they think? High weightage, 25 marks only. Not more than that. 25 to 30 marks only. Digital audit and this one also you remove. The weightage is 14 marks only. From these standards, in the last attempt only 12 marks only asked. Sir, new standards, no. For you it is new. For the paper setter is not new. It is there in this book. For him every page is same. For him every page is same. For you it is new. For him every page is same generally. In income tax only amendments and all are important. Getting it? In audit and all there is no such thing called new concept, old concept. Syllabus is there on this is the syllabus. From this they have to test. Proposed that very simple. All these 800, 2000, 3000, 4000. From these four put together 10 standards were there. And overall standards are 46. 10 by 46 is equal to how much? Some 20%. 20% or 22%, 21%. Out of 120 marks, 20% is how much? 24 marks. Maximum weightage. Maximum, not even 20, sorry, 15% only. 18 marks. That's the weightage which is reflected, 14 to 18 marks. It is in proportion to the remaining standards only. The syllabus, the points, I mean, the questions in the examination will be same proportion to the remaining syllabus. You can see last May exam, it is some 12 to 14 marks only they tested. MTP is also 14 marks only they tested. That's the weightage of these these four chapters: related service, assurance engagement, review engagement, specialized areas. From all these 10 standards, the 14 marks is the only weightage. 14 or worst case 16. Just because they are new, that doesn't mean 40 marks will be coming from them. Remaining, whatever remaining 35 standards were there, right? From them 45 to 50 marks came. Clear? Last attempt many missed this. And that marathon also I told very clearly this point. But people will not result until they experience, no? They studied, they ignored many standards on auditing, they focused only those 10 standards, especially converted students from old scheme to new scheme. And result 14 marks in the exam. Only 14 marks question. This fellow would have got 3 marks out of 14. That's a different scenario. Next. So in 805, you have a requirement. You remember in 805, can we give an emphasis of matter paragraph in an audit report that contains adverse opinion? There is a discussion on that. I'll clarify. You know, you are prohibited to use emphasis of matter paragraph. You are prohibited to use emphasis of matter paragraph where you have given adverse opinion on the financial statements. You gave adverse opinion on the financials. In the same audit report, you are prohibited to give emphasis. Why? Emphasis, what are you doing? You are highlighting some 4 or 5 points. At the end of that, what are you saying? My opinion is not modified. In the above, what you said, financials are not true and fair. You said in the adverse opinion section, do not believe the financials, they are not true and fair. Below again, you are saying what? I don't have any objection on these points. What does it mean? So, it is contradicting your adverse opinion. It is contradicting your adverse opinion. Same way, disclaimer opinion you gave. You gave a disclaimer of opinion. I am unable to give opinion on the financials as a whole. And you want to take some 3 or 4 points. On this, I don't have any objection. So, when the auditor gave adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion in an audit report on a set of financial statements, complete set of financial statements, the auditor shall not give, shall not use emphasis of matter paragraph in the same audit report. In the same audit report, you should not use. Now, actually in the institute book, they will not highlight this sentence and all. They will not give this sentence. They will directly, you see, when the auditor consider it necessary to express, when it is considered, I mean, it's coming, don't worry. Yes. When auditor consider it necessary to express adverse opinion or disclaimer, you know, on the financials, the audit report shall not include unmodified opinion with respect to same framework on a single financial statement or one or more elements in the same. So with in the financials you are giving adverse or disclaimer. The same audit report shall not contain unmodified opinion on a single financial statement or element of the financial statement. Understood? Which means you gave financial statements as a whole adverse. You don't come back and say balance sheet is true and fair. Don't come back and say notes is true and fair. Don't come back and say cash flow is true and fair. Don't say trade receivable is true and fair. How do we give unmodified opinion on a particular element in the audit report? Through emphasis of matter paragraph, correct? In emphasis of matter paragraph, we are highlighting some issues and saying that our opinion is not modified. Indirectly, on those points which we highlighted, are we giving unmodified opinion? That is prohibited. However, in 805, if you see, audit of single financial statement, specific element, item of the financial statement, yes or no? Suppose the complete set, general purpose auditors, they gave adverse opinion. But here I was appointed, exclusively called for trade receivable audit, or I was called for cash flow statement audit. Now, on the cash flow, I want to give unqualified opinion, or I want to give unqualified opinion. For example, on the cash flow statement, I want to give unqualified opinion. Can I do so? Since this is a separate engagement, and if the item is not a major portion in the complete set, and the item is not a major portion in the complete set, auditor got sufficient appropriate evidence that this single financial statement or element is true and fair. You got sufficient appropriate evidence that this is a true and fair. This single financial statement is not a major item, or the element which you are doing audit is not a major item. You're getting it. And this report is a separate report from the general purpose report. In this report, you may give unqualified opinion, no problem. Are you getting it? Because here the report is different. Moreover, this is not a major item. This is a minor item. Very simple. The audited financials or complete set of the financial statements, the auditor gave an adverse opinion. Can another auditor, in respect of audit of single financial statement or element, can he give an unqualified opinion is a question. You can do so if at all that is not a major item. In a single audit report, can I give like this? No. That is here. That's the interlink between this and that. Understood? This is called conceptual understanding. Understanding sentence meaning, no, not that. Context based understanding. There, this you need to link. If you don't link these 2 points, in exam this they will ask and you will write that. You clear? Fine. Generally, if complete set of the financial statements were given adverse opinion, even on the single financial statement also, you shall give adverse opinion unless the following conditions present. That's how the 805 standard. Anyhow, when I come to 805, once again I will reconnect to this. That's it. So with this, 701 is also over. Confident? No, no, no. Nah, yeah, very good. You reminded me that word at least. Very good. I'll explain. Now you see, so does it mean emphasis of matter paragraph in an audit report can be given only in a case of unqualified opinion and qualified opinion? Yes. If at all you gave financials as a whole adverse in the same audit report, you cannot give unmodified opinion on a single element of the financials or a specific element of the financials, because as a whole you said wrong. Why are you saying that this element is right again? It's contradicting your own opinion. Or when you're not giving opinion as a whole, which you're supposed to give, that time also don't select some specific points and give unqualified opinion. Understood? So that is what. Suppose I gave qualified opinion. Qualified opinions on some issue. I want to highlight emphasis some other issue. I can do so. Because as a whole I didn't qualify. No, I only qualified 2 or 3 points. This I didn't qualify. I gave unqualified opinion. You can highlight important points, no problem. You're clear? In a case of adverse opinion and disclaimer only, never use emphasis. Very fundamental logic. I said every balance sheet is wrong. Again I'm saying, go and see that important point. That I'm saying, don't believe it. Adverse opinion means what? Don't trust it. When I said don't trust it, again I'm asking you, come back, come back. This point you come and see. What? Is it contradicting your own opinion or not? Simple logic. Disclaimer, I will not give opinion because I did not get significant amount of data. How can you figure out important point in such a case? Then also you can't highlight the logic. But if at all you are doing separately a single financial statement audit, separate audit for specific element audit, getting it? So that's a different scenario. So that's why 805 addresses that issue. Now unmodified report means what? Modified report means what? You will get this discussion in 805 again. 805, at some places they use the word modified report, unmodified report. They use that word. You know, generally unmodified report means what? You know, under SA 700 there is a format. Actually here I am showing you the format of audit report, right? The contents of audit report. These are the contents of audit report, etc. Title, address, all this. If you look at original 700 format, you will not find these elements. You will not find these elements. 700 format is what? Unmodified report, which contains unmodified opinion. You are simply giving opinion, basis for opinion. You are talking about responsibilities of management, audit responsibilities. Happily you are proceeding, no issue, nothing. That's unmodified report. Suppose no, I want to talk about important issues in the financials. I want to highlight, which means 700 report format you are not following. You are including 706 matters in audit report, which means 700 report format you are modifying, right? 700 report format you are modifying, right? That's a modified report. Sir, I gave unmodified opinion only. Your opinion is unmodified, boss. The report is modified. Why we call it as report is modified? Because you are not following 700 format. 700 format is unmodified report. If at all you modify that report, either because of emphasis of matter, other matter, key audit matter, or because of modification to the opinion, whatever reason you modify the report, 570, other information, whatever reason you modify, that's a modified report. Clear? So which means a modified report also can contain unqualified opinion. That's it. This discussion is very relevant in 805. 805, this is very relevant. Even in summary financial statements also the discussion comes. I will link it there. That's it. Now with this 701 is also completed. Now let's continue with 720. Let's continue with 720, which is other information. Which is other information. Yes, just a minute.